Hello again and welcome to English with Motto. In this video, I'm going to cover two essential verb tenses, past simple and present perfect simple. These two verbs are the most commonly used ones in English. So don't go away and stick around till the end. Let's start with past simple. What is past simple? And how do we use past simple? We use past simple to talk about something or a situation that actually happened in the past but with a specific or definite time. So we know when it happened. Yesterday, 2 hours ago, last week, this morning. So we know the time. Now let's actually highlight two categories of verbs. We have regular verbs and we have irregular verbs. With regular verbs, we just add ed to the original form of verb. Let's see some examples. I decided. We just add ed. Decide, decided. Quite simple. You stopped. So the original form here is stop. As you can see, we double the P. Why? Because the letter that is before the last one or that comes before the last one is a vowel. So that's why we double the last letter. So stop becomes stopped. We waited. In the case of waited, as you can see, we didn't double the T, so the original form is wait. As you can see, we have two vowels that actually come before the last letter. So as you can see, when you have two vowels in a row, you can't double the last one. It's impossible to double it. So it stays as it is. So we waited. Moving to they studied. The original form of studied is study. That's the original form of verb. So we have study. As you can see, I'm hearing the E. The E. So I study becomes studied. The Y turns into IED in the past simple form. However, in the case of a play, he played. The original form he is a play. It ends with Y, but I can't hear the E. I'm just hearing the Y, play. So in the case of play, we just add ed to it. As simple as it is. Now we have she preferred. Preferred. As you can see, prefer, the original form is prefer. We double the R because we have actually a vowel that comes before the last letter. Also, prefer. The stress is on the last syllable. When the stress is on the last syllable, we double the letter that precedented or that precedents the last one. So prefer becomes preferred. Moving to the last case, it profited. The original form is profit. As you can see, profit, profit. The stress here is on the first syllable. I know you might be wondering why. Okay, we have a vowel that comes before the last one. Why didn't we double the T? We don't double the T because the stress here is not on the last syllable. It's on the first syllable. Profit, profit. So we just add ed to it. So I want you to focus a lot on all of these rules to make sure that you fully write the verb in the past simple form. Now let's move to the next category, irregular verbs. What is the meaning of irregular verbs? In the case of irregular verbs, it is impossible to actually just add ed. You can't just add ed. It wouldn't make any difference. The whole verb changes. Let's see. Drink becomes drank. You can't say drinked. So drinked is impossible. See, saw. You have to actually watch the pronunciation. See, saw. Got, put, hit, heard, and let. They stay as it is in verb. So that's the original form of verb and it stays as it is in the past simple form. Read, read. In the case of read, it stays as it is, but the pronunciation, the spelling, the sound of spelling has changed. So read, read, read. So the EA here are spelled as A. Okay, A. Moving to hide, hide becomes hid. As you can see, we tested out. So hide, hid. It's not hide, it's hid. So I is barely spoken in here. Lead, led. Lead, led. Meet, met. Bring, brought. I will attach a PDF of all the irregular verbs down in my description video to make sure that you fully check the whole list. Okay, now let's focus on the question word in the past simple form. The question word is did. For example, did you visit him yesterday? As you can see here, with did, we use the original form of verb. So you can't conjugate the verb with did. It's a question verb. Yes, I did. No, I did not. Or I didn't. So didn't is the short form of did not. Moving now to some example sentences to make sure that you understand the usage of past simple form. I saw my friends on Tuesday. So as you can see, that's a definite time. On Tuesday. I saw my friends yesterday. Yesterday. At 5:30. A year ago. Last week. Last year. There's a specific time. A definite time. Now let's move to present perfect simple. How do we use the present perfect simple? We use the present perfect simple to talk about something that happened in the past, but we don't know when. We don't know the exact time of occurrence. So there's no definite time. So it's indefinite time. For example, I went to my cousin's place yesterday. That's past simple. I have gone to my cousin's place. Stop. Don't confuse yourself. I'm going to explain. So in the case of present perfect simple, as you can see, we use the subject pronoun, which is I, you, we, they, he, she, and it, plus have or has, plus the past participle. The past participle is a bit close to past simple form, especially with regular verbs. I will show you what I mean. As you can see, with I, you, we, and they, we use have. With he, she, and it, we use has. Let's focus on this section here. So, I have decided. So, decided is a regular verbs. The regular verb stay as it is in the past simple and the past participle form. So, the original form of decided actually is decide. So, decide in the past simple form decided, and it stays decided in the past participle form because it's a regular verb. Finish. You have finished. It's a regular verb. So finished, it's the same one as in past simple. So you don't need to change it. It's quite simple. Moving now to the irregular verbs. She has written a book. Written. The original form is write. Write becomes wrote in the past simple. That's the past simple. And written in the past participle. It's an irregular verbs. Written, not written. Many people spell it as rai, noi. written. So this I here is silent. Written. She has written a book. It has totally gone. Totally gone. It has totally gone. The original form of gone actually is go. So go becomes went in the past simple and gone in the past participle form. So it has totally gone. That's the original form. Now in the case of drive, he has driven fast. Driven. So as you can see, we apply the same rule as for written. So he has driven fast. So driven comes from drive, the original form, which in past simple is drove. So drove in the past simple, but in the past participle form, driven. He has driven fast. Understandable? I think it's quite easy to understand, as long as you simply actually go back to the video to make sure that you fully understand the difference between regular verbs and irregular verbs. So as you can see, regular verbs and irregular verbs are quite easy to understand as long as you are quite aware and cognizant of the difference between them. Moving now to the last and very important section, the time words. We use some time words with the present perfect simple to help express the meaning of these sentences. Let's just focus on the first category of words. Just and recently. Someone has just broken a window. Has just broken a window. Just doesn't mean now or 2 days ago or a minute ago. So just could mean maybe now, maybe a minute ago, maybe 2 minutes ago. So the time is not specific. So we can use it with the present perfect simple. Same as recently. Scientists have recently found 30 unknown insects. So recently found means lately. You don't know when, maybe 2 days ago, maybe a month ago, I'm not sure. So it still doesn't give me a specific time for it. And let's just focus on the verbs here. As you can see, we have broken. Broken, which is the past participle of break. And we have found, which is the past participle of find. And find is a regular verb. It stays as it is. Find, found in past simple, and found in past participle. Moving to the next category, ever and never, or ever and never. Have you ever flown in a helicopter? So as you can see, have you ever flown in a helicopter? I have never traveled by plane. Never traveled by plane. Many people use ever and never with past simple form. I don't recommend that, especially if you are trying to make or to write a very academic essay. So you simply have to use these two time words with present perfect simple form only, or the perfect tense only. Let's focus on the verbs here. So we have the verb flown, which is the past participle of fly, and we have the verb traveled, which is the past participle and past simple of travel. Fly here, so as you can see, that's an irregular verb, and that's a regular verb. Okay, so fly, flew, flown. So flew is the past simple of fly. Moving now to already. I have already finished my homework. Same as well. Many people use already with past simple form. I don't also recommend that. It's better to use it with perfect tense. So I have already finished my homework. As you can see, finished, which is the past participle form of the verb finish, and it's a regular verb. Yet. An amazing common time words that we quite often use in English. I have not finished yet. Peter has not called yet. As you can see, we quite use it. We use it a lot with the negative form. The negative form. I have not finished yet. Peter has not called yet. And that's, as you can see, that's the short term of has not. So has not or hasn't. Have not, haven't. That's the short term. Moving to for and since. For and since are the most common time words to use with the perfect tense. She has worked here for 10 years. As you can see, we use for the length of time, 10 years. Since, they have lived here since 2010. We use since with a point of time. So it's an exact point of time. So it would be not acceptable to say, for example, she has worked here since 10 years. No, it doesn't make sense. It's a length of time. And even though you can just say, they have lived here for 2010. It doesn't make sense too. Because since is just for a specific time, a specific point of time. Let's focus on the verbs here. We have the verb worked, which is the past participle form of work, which is a regular verb. And we have lived, which is the past participle form of live, and it's a regular verb as well. Quiz time! As you can see, we have 4 sentences right on the board here. All what you have to do is trying to spot the mistake in every single sentence. You might have more than one mistake in one of the sentences. I'm not sure. You have to find out yourself. Sentence number 1. She has went to the store. Number 2. They did driven the same car yesterday. Number 3. We has not wore the black gown. Number 4. I have bought a lot of vegetables last night. So, please don't forget to write down the correct form of these sentences down in the comment section below. Best of luck! That is all for today. Thanks a lot for joining me in this video. Please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and activate the bell button to make sure that you receive all the upcoming new videos. Thanks again for watching, and I look forward to seeing you again on my channel. Have an amazing day.